everybody. So I wanted to give you an idea, because our time is limited, as far what I'm talking about when I say these things over here. So students using ELF or HELPS for generating ideas for writing, that is an acronym that we use. And if you go to Google Classroom, there are, starting in week 8, we've got deconstructing a prompt and helps in ELF brainstorming. So the resources are in here, and basically what we're doing is having the kids brainstorm historical events, important life events, like their personal experiences, things from books, movies, TV, games that are important to them. That's literary ELF. Pop culture events is P, and sporting events is S. So if you're doing it helps, it's that. ELF is just events, like experience, your life experience. L is literary, means the same thing. And F is famous. So that kind of combines that historical, pop culture, and sports. And so there's material in here for the kids to brainstorm in their lives what were important things that happened from year to year. And so they can kind of keep a running list. And then when they get prompts, star prompts, they can go back to their list and say, hey, what from my life would apply to this prompt? So every week, starting nowish, we've got a prompt every week. And here it comes. Load. We ask the kids to think about what the quote in the prompt is saying. So it's just a star style prompt. And we think about what it's saying, what related ideas come to mind when they read that think statement, and what is it asking you to write about. And then they have to come up with 2 examples that they could possibly write about for that statement. And then each week as well, we give them, it's usually a brain pop video where they can take notes on that famous person or famous event. And the prompt that week is going to align with the video and what they're taking notes on. So that way they can practice. So that way maybe they'll be able to write about Rachel Carson on The Real Star, or maybe they'll be able to write about Lewis and Clark. So we tried to make it cross-curricular. Rachel Carson's a scientist. And then we pulled just some people, famous people from Brain Pop. And so each week they get a prompt, and they also have an opportunity to fill out what we call an SPO, which is a single paragraph outline. So they can think through, okay, what are my ELF things that I'm going to write about? And then how will I structure my paragraph? What details from the Brain Pop video will I use? And so the first few weeks we take them through really slowly with lots of scaffolding as far as how would you fill out the outline. And so all of these materials are here for your teachers. What we don't want is teachers to have to spend their nights and weekends scouring the internet for things. So we have a lot of this in here to help them, kind of scaffold slowly. It's more scaffolded at the beginning here, and then when you get down to Nikola Tesla, it's a little less scaffolded. So we're asking the kids to be more independent. So those are some things that would be available to kids in the Google Classroom. And so the sentence expansion, when I'm talking about that, that's literally just the little note taker that they use to write about their famous person. And so it looks like this. And this is the same note taker that is in the Google Classroom on the reading side, so that when they're writing about Anne Frank and taking notes on Anne Frank when they're reading that play, they're filling in the same graphic organizer to take notes on their reading. So it should be something that's really familiar to them. And I hope. So that way reading and writing don't have to do the exact same thing, but they're aligned with each other. And so you should be seeing the SPO template, ELF and HELPS, deconstructing prompts, and revising their writing. And so those things are all embedded in the Google Classroom activities. And then MPO is the same thing as SPO, but it's multiple paragraph outline. So it's that same little line document. It just has more lines because it's more than one paragraph. And then for kids who are behind, I linked the Google Classroom, which I just showed you, but we also have the Scope Index. And we subscribe to Scope and Action, and they have some really nice materials for teachers. And everybody has an account. All the teachers do, and your coaches will be able to get your teachers set up if they haven't already. We've had it for a couple years now. But there's a grammar index, which people may not know. And so one of our teachers, Tom Hernandez at Southmore, went through every single Scope magazine and found every single grammatical worksheet or curricular support and organized them and labeled them. So if you know the kids are struggling with pronouns, then you can just search for the ones that are pronouns, pull up March 2018. We have online digital access, and hey Dina, you'll be able to not spend all your time going through Scope magazine. It's all indexed there for you. So I would recommend using those materials in Google Classroom as well as the Scope or Action Index if you have kids who need support or are getting behind, because there's a lot in there. And that is what we've got for 7th grade writing. So keep me posted on what you need. If you'd like me to swing by your campus and help out a PLC, or if there's anything teachers need us to create, we would be happy to do that.